last couple games at Nevada, I guess. When you think of your career here, what kind of sticks out in your mind?
I don't know, probably just the amount of success I've had. Sweet 16 run, playing UNLV every year, just the usual things. But the success I've had for sure.
How have you changed as a person during your 5 years in college?
I definitely got more mature. I think when I first came in, I did have to pick up quick. Hanging out with the older guys and stuff. But Muss did throw me into the starting five quick. So I just felt like I had to kind of mature quick. Life things. I feel like.
What do you think your time in Reno will mean to you when you kind of reflect back on college? I know you're kind of in the middle of it now, but just thinking of all the things you've been able to accomplish and how important you've become to the whole community.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely know I might cry a little at senior night. I might, but yeah, definitely. Reno means definitely a lot in my heart. They taken me from high school, to where I'm at right now. So it's definitely got a big heart for the city.
What has this year meant to you? I mean, with Martin Twins gone, with Caroline gone, to be able to continue that success, for you to have another leap up in your level of play?
Means a lot, definitely. This year, for sure. Obviously, me coming back from that injury last year, but the biggest thing I felt like this year was just me wanting to play basketball, getting back on the court, however way possible. So I felt like I was able to do that.
Unlike this time of year, usually you're facing Mountain West team for the second time around. This is the first time you're going to be seeing Fresno State. What's been your first impression of them so far on film and what you've seen?
I know that they have a couple senior guards on the team, and they're big. So we're gonna have to rebound. We gotta they can drive and kick. So we just gotta respect that.
Does it really hit you that your time here is starting to wind down?
Yeah, I was about to say like last week it hit me. Really hit me that I only got a couple more games, 2 more games in Raleigh. So. Yeah.
Seems like you're a pretty low-key guy. You don't show a lot of emotion. What does basketball mean to you?
Honestly, it's everything. Like I said, like last year when I wasn't playing, it was probably one of the toughest, points of my life. But it's just I've had it since day one. As long as I can remember. So taking it away was a big thing.
What were some of the other things you learned having to sit out, basically the last year and a half?
I've said it before too that I definitely think I became more humble. Just humble and appreciating everything. All these little early practices. The small things. I really started to appreciate.
Thanks, Lindsey.
Thank you.
And how unique of a player is he, just to be able to kind of do everything on the court?
Well, he is unique because of all the things he does. And to be able to. One, ask him to score more this year, which he's done, and that's kind of not his DNA. And so he's done everything we've asked him to do. Now, if he can just finish the season in the way he should and finish academically the way he should, you're looking at somebody who's just had a very special career here. So I think now it's just about Lindsey finishing, both academically and what he does on the court. But he has been nothing but excellence for us as far as just the things that we've asked him to do. And he's just one of those guys, what you're going to get, and he's been very consistent with it.
How would you describe his personality? Because he does seem like a pretty laid-back guy. He doesn't show a lot of emotion.
Yeah, he is. He's not an emotional guy. His personality is laid back and just takes things in stride. And we tease him all the time. His phone alarm goes off all the time, like 5 minutes before every meeting. So he knows – to set his alarm and give him, I guess, 5 minutes. I've always told him, I said, you at least want to be in range of 4 minutes. You don't want to be like 10 minutes out of range and your alarm go off. So not a lot gets him rattled, which is a good demeanor to have when you're an athlete. He's got a very good demeanor that way.
Has it been hard to get him more aggressive scoring the ball, just because it seems like that's not his?
No, I think he's done a really good job of early in the season knowing what we needed versus now obviously Jalen's scoring has gone up, so he's looking for Jalen more. But just like at the New Mexico game, he banged some very important threes for us. I don't think in years past that's something he's thought about doing. And now he's much more aggressive as a scorer. He's going downhill well. His assists are up. Now he's doing the things defensively that we've needed him to do. So I've liked his demeanor of just how hard he's played. That's been really the thing we've wanted him to do at both ends, and he's done that.
I think his dad was a little bit before you in college. Did you guys ever cross paths?
No. No. I kid Lindsey that that he's not near as strong as Dad and as physical as Dad. But, it's a basketball family. That's a family that's been in basketball for a long time, and his brothers obviously play as well. So it's very similar to the Holiday family I coached at UCLA. Just a family that plays basketball at a high level, and the Drew family's the same way.
Back-to-back road wins. What have you liked about your team the last week plus year?
Just the poise, the confidence that they gained from winning at UNLV, and then the poise that they played with at New Mexico. Two very difficult environments. I think it was one of UNLV's best crowds that they've had. It was definitely New Mexico, one of the best crowds that they've had, and yet, for the most part, 45 minutes at UNLV, 40 minutes in New Mexico, we led most of those minutes. So I just thought that our guys did a really good job of trying to execute what we wanted to be done. And then anytime you can go on the road and shoot well and play well offensively and then do the things that you're trying to do defensively, that's a positive. And we hadn't had success on the road up until then, but I do think it's a gradual progression with this team of how they've learned each step. And now here comes another couple steps that are going to get thrown at them. Next week, senior night at Wyoming. Next week, senior night here. So there's emotions attached to both of those. And now, before we get to next week, we got a Fresno team that we haven't played, and a Fresno team that's really, in my opinion, much, much better than what they are on paper as far as their record. Their starting five is outstanding. They got two legit bigs, and they got two senior guards that can really score the basketball. So it's a very, very dangerous game for us.
They do play two bigs. What have you thought of your front court? That was kind of the big question mark coming into the season. How would you assess their
Yeah, I think they've really grown. I've liked what JC's done in his growth. KJ has grown leaps and bounds. He's got his weight back up, and he's confident now playing at a much higher level. And Zane and Robbie have just continued to mature, and that's really what we needed to happen. And I think you look at the future of where I think KJ will be, Robbie will be, Zane will be a year from now is great because they're getting great experience this year. But their development from just basically September till now, we've seen a lot of growth. And I think their ceiling's still very high. You're going to, I think, continue to see that growth. But obviously it's helped us in conference play with them getting better.
Where has KJ gotten improved the most? Because it seems like he's kind of taken the largest step.
Yeah, I think just, being he's a 2-year freshman, because of the red shirt, and I think he's just built confidence. He's playing much more aggressive. He's trying to dunk the ball. He's running in transition better. He's being able to sound simple, but he's not crashing physically 4 minutes in. I can play him 6-7 minutes now, where early on I may only get to play him 3 minutes because he has mentally thinks he's tired, and now he's grown mentally to where he's playing 6, 7, 8 minutes at a time and still playing at a high level. He's not getting his foul trouble as much, which again, that's maturity defensively. So I just think he's grown in just about every area, but the mental side to me has been where he's had the greatest growth. He's starting to take more risk. He's starting to believe in himself a little bit more, and he's got to continue that progress. And I think going against Warren every day has helped both KJ and Warren.
I know you talked about him before the season when he was named Mountain West Freshman of the Year, about him believing in himself. You guys had confidence in him. He had to have that. Do you feel like he's a confident player now, that when he hits the floor?
Yeah, I don't think he was early in the season. I think there was a lot of question marks, and rightly so. He didn't play any last year. Obviously, you're redshirt, and he didn't travel much. So it's one of those deals where he's doing all this for the first time, and, oh, by the way, there's a lot of pressure on our bigs because our guards are veterans, but there's no experience really in the front court. And there was a lot of heat put on him, and I think he struggled handling that kind of stuff, and just, I think, mentally just said, oh, okay, I'm okay with this role. I'll just come off the bench, play 3 or 4 minutes at a time, and he was okay. Now he's getting more aggressive to where it's like, no, I want more minutes, and that's a good thing. That's what you want, players that want the minutes and want more of a role, and I think he's embracing that.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.